On today's live daily news, a high-speed chase involving a motorcycle ended in a crash on the north side of town. A jury trial was held in San Angelo this week, and a quick catch-up on this weekend's weather. Plus, the Cover1 crew talks football one last time before state championships. All this and more. I'm Yantis Green, and this is Live. But first, Myers Drug and Boutique is the place to go this Christmas for holiday shopping. This year, spend your Christmas in style with these super cute Christmas tees with catchy designs saying things like "Sleigh Girl Sleigh" and "Merry Christmas, y'all." You can be the most fashionable woman at the Christmas party. Get these shirts only at Myers Drug and Boutique, located in downtown San Angelo. They are at the corner of Chadbourne and Beauregard. You can shop there Monday through Friday, 9 to 6, and then on Saturdays from 10 to 2. See more at myersdrug.com. We start the news episode today with some breaking news. A high-speed chase involving a Harley-Davidson motorcycle on US 87 this afternoon ended up in a crash. Around 2 o'clock, deputies with the Tom Green County Sheriff's Office initiated a chase on Grape Creek Road and US 87 North. The suspect was on a Harley and was fleeing from the deputies at nearly 100 miles per hour at times. The chase went into town but didn't get very far as the suspect crashed his bike at the intersection of Bryant and 29th. Traffic reports indicate that the suspect was wanted, but his identity has not been released this afternoon. Paramedics were dispatched to the scene, and they checked on the deputies involved in the chase and the suspect. No one was taken to the hospital that we know of. In court this week, a San Angelo woman took a possession of a controlled substance charge all the way to a jury trial. The trial of the state of Texas versus Catherine Reyes kicked off on Monday. A typical jury trial in Tom Green County lasted 4 or 5 days. For this one, though, the jury was able to get a guilty verdict by Tuesday, and a punishment was reached by Wednesday. In the trial, it was learned that Reyes had been arrested on September 5th back in 2020 for having nearly half a gram of meth hidden in a cigar box. Officers with the San Angelo Police Department found the meth after searching her vehicle during a traffic stop. For the crime, Reyes received 3 years in prison as well as a $3,000 fine. Typically, a possession of controlled substance charge is pleaded out with a couple of months of probation. And finally, if you've been liking this cloudy weather outside, then you're in luck. Over the next 7 days, expect it to remain mostly cloudy, especially over the weekend, with rain chances and temperatures in the 40s. Expect tonight a slight fog, followed by some rain showers in the morning. Into the morning, moving into next week, don't expect much rain. Temperatures will remain down as Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday. The high temperature is expected to be in that 60-degree range. And now, Cover1, the Cover1 sports crew will break down all the games for tonight's matchups. Who's going to state and who's coming up just short? Find out after this quick word from Tiemann Investments.
I've always known that I wanted to be a teacher. I wanted to help students maximize their potential. It's something that I'm good at. But planning for my financial freedom, that's something I leave for a professional.
That's why I chose to team up with the advisors at Tiemann Investments.
They not only understand me and my goals, but they understand the market, what's important now and in the future. They provided world-class advice right where I am, here in West Texas.
Connect with Tiemann Investments to visualize your financial dreams.
All right, we are here. It is the Cover1 pregame show. We got a lot of football to get to. Before we get to it, though, I want to bring in my co-host, James. It's been a heck of a season so far. We got one game left. What are you thinking?
I'm excited for it, man. We got tonight's games and we got some Saturday games going on, so we're going to be pretty busy this weekend. We got a lot of games coming in, man. We got a lot of good ones. We had some good ones last night. We had Albany playing New Home. We had Holly playing Crawford. We had Brock and Malakoff, Edna, Franklin. We had a bunch of good ones last night.
Yeah, we did, and you yourself was at a Albany New Home game.
I was.
And we're going to break down those highlights to get this thing started. But first, I want to let you guys know about All-American Chevrolet. Right now, you can get a 2022 Equinox. You can get $1,500 in total cash allowance when you get that $500 red tag bonus cash on selected popular 2021-2023 Chevy models, and this includes the Chevy Equinox. Find your tag, find your deal at All-American Chevrolet of San Angelo, the fun place to buy a car. Go see them today at 203 North Bryant in San Angelo, or give them a call, 325-203-5425. All right, James, let's get into it. The battle between New Home and Albany. Go for it.
All right, here's the kickoff. London Frentis gets a pretty good return here. They're in Sweetwater, beautiful stadium there. Here you go. Here's Adam Hill running in for about an 8-yard touchdown. Burst through the line. You're going to see that quite a bit this game. They put up quite a few points. Here comes a 2-point conversion attempt. Chapman's going to take the snap. He's just going to roll out and just run it in from the side over here.
Number 10.
That makes it 8-0.
Yeah, so started off this game 8-0, Albany up, and they pretty much did it the whole way through. Here's another long pass there and almost scored.
Here comes the run. Adam Hill run over. That's their quarterback out there too. Number 3 is their quarterback, and a safety for him. You go rolling out. He finds number 12. What's his name? Branson Beal. Logan Addison with a pretty good run there for New Home. New Home had trouble getting things going altogether. Adam Hill hits a batted ball. And then here comes New Home returning the favor. Here comes a great, almost picked off.
Good defense right there by New Home.
New Home's on offense.
New Home's on offense, yes.
Good defense by Albany to crash in on him like that. Here's one. Probably could have called it there, but ball comes out. Adam Hill fumbles it. New Home takes over. Here comes some trickery. A pitch, and then a pass down the field. Number 2, Jackson Raines. Wide open. And, yep, he does get tackled short of the goal, but they had to do something. They had to have something to try to get themselves on the board. He's already down 2 scores.
13, 1st and 10.
And here comes...
Number 3,
Beck. Here comes the 2-point.
Yeah, chunking it up there for the 2 points.
No,
They're
that
making
was
a game out of it right here. What's the score at that point?
It's 14-7 at that point. That was the touchdown to Nevin Mojica. They called him down just short on like the half-yard line. Here comes a pretty good return from Albany here. Almost broke it.
Kicker making tackles out there. All right, Albany's got the football right here on a little screen pass, kicking it out to the outside. Number 80's down the sidelines.
Wyndham.
Gonna make 2 miss, 3 miss actually, spins off of them. Man, what a play. On to the next one though. Quarterback keeper here goes to the right, makes 1 miss, almost trips and falls, but stays on his feet. Touchdown. Albany goes up 21-7 at this point. New Home bringing it back. A little screen of their own, but Albany reads it all the way.
After the punt, here comes a pass from Chapman to Beal.
A little flag on the play, no harm, no foul.
Yeah. But it moves the ball forward. This is Lefebvre running it in for a score.
Rolling over people, James. Rolling over kids.
Man, this Albany team is a different monster, man. I'm telling you, they are really good. That was the play before halftime. There was a flag on it. You see it come in. You get untimed down here. No, I think it was defensive holding.
Gotcha. So untimed down, throw up, Hail Mary.
And can't come up with it.
Interception.
They called it out, though. They did call it out. They said it was out of bounds. And it was right there. I was right at the back of the end zone. And they said he stepped on it. Interception there by Chapman. Here he comes out on this side. Here comes a pretty good run from him. There's a pass to number 1.
Nice little quick trigger hair right there. They're all around him. Got to make that tackle before. Fumble on the play, but looks like he grabs it. All right, moving on. Albany. Just a little dump off here to the running back. Is he going to make
Adam
it? Yes.
Hill.
Throws him down and just walks into the end zone.
In for another score.
What's the score there?
I think it's 28 to 7 at this point.
Breaks one
again.
there down the sideline.
Stiff arm.
Nice stiff arm. Good action right there.
Next play, they're just going to run it in with Lefebvre. Quick little easy score for him. But I missed it because I was trying to send the play back. They blocked the kick and returned got 2 points on the return here. And I wish I hadn't missed it because it was a tremendous play. Here you go, number 70 kicking off to New Home.
Keep it here, running past, fumbles on the
the
play. Ball rolled pretty far out, and Albany got on top of it. They like to do this, so roll out, pitch it down to his running back, but this time, cornerback is there, interception. New Home has the ball 36-9 at this point.
I'm trying to do something, try to get on the board, get a little more on the board here. First down. Out to number 4 who gets lit.
Woo, man.
The kids are flying around
on that one.
They were flying around.
Here we go. Trying to make something happen.
They did call that because they said he hit him late because he was already in the slide. They did call that.
Trying to make something happen. Quarterback keeper.
And a touchdown.
Gets in. Touchdown. They're not out yet. They're down but not out. 2-point conversion. Will they get it? Quarterback takes the snap. Looks on the. That's like a little pick out. That's like a
pick play
right there.
Pick play.
Yep.
Oh, he got with a
coming
2-point conversion.
Touchdown. Speed option on the next one here from Albany.
Lefebvre with a good run.
These guys can pretty much do it all.
Hand in the ball. Here comes another.
Another one for him. Hand it off.
Another
Jumps
hurdle.
over. There it is.
He had 2 of them. He said his dad was his hurdles coach, so he gets a lot of work at that. And Rose is in for a score. 2-point conversion.
Bring the twos in.
Fairchild in, 47-17.
Here we go, chunking it up here, trying to just stay alive.
Yeah, at that
what
point,
a good catch.
At that
Touchdown.
point, they had really taken some time off the clock. I mean, they have to try something deep just to get back in it, to try to, if you even want a chance at winning.
Right.
And there goes another 2-point conversion to Mojica.
Got to make a stop though. That's what they could not do. Is this Albany running offense just attacked them all night long? Look, cuts it back and forth. Nobody can tackle anybody on the team. It seems like.
And
so
he probably ran 100 yards, 120 yards to get 40 yards.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's in for the score. Roses again.
That's what happens though, right there.
Take out Hill, take out Lefebvre. Make it easier on your guys. And here comes a
last second
Beck
Hail Mary.
pass that gets tipped and intercepted.
Not going to be good enough. What's the final score, James? Going to you.
53-25. Albany is moving on to state. It's like their 6th state appearance under this head coach. I mean, this dude was just cool as ever. I mean, just laid back, easy go. I mean, like he just expected it at this point. You know, they're a really good team, and they'll be taking on the Mart Panthers at state. Mart is another really storied program. They have a really good team there at Mart.
All right. And James, you talked to the head coach last night, so let's go ahead and pull that up and run that. Here it is.
There are a couple of those.
So, you guys finally made it to state. I know you got to this point last year. Came up with a loss now, this year.
Different. I think different. Obviously, that's the reason we play the game is to get into this situation. Got a chance to play for a state championship. Now we've got that chance. Our kids are doing that right. And just like we're talking to them, be happy with what we've done. Let's not be satisfied. Let's go get this thing shot. We got a lot of seniors that are key players this year. What do you mean them to ever get a shot at the state tournament? Well, I think it's much for the kids. I mean, there are a lot of kids across the state of Texas who want this opportunity. And we've got some kids that have that opportunity now. And, I'm just proud for them. I love these guys and the effort that they've given for us all year long.
Talk about this game tonight. This was a good opponent.
They played well. They're great. I mean, they're 13-0 or 13-1, whatever they were for a reason. I mean, they're very good. And playing with a quarterback got hurt a couple of weeks ago. They're playing with one or two guys. And kid's good. They're really good. They can ball well. Got some good receivers. Play great defense. I mean, they're fast on defense. We couldn't get to a flank or an edge all night long. So, they've got a good football team. Well coached.
Coach, as a head coach, this is your sixth appearance, sixth state championship appearance.
What does that mean to you? I mean, or does that mean anything at this point?
Man, they've all been good. We need to finish. That's the problem. We need to finish one.
Let's talk about your ground game tonight. Outstanding.
Yeah, really. Look, those offensive linemen up front have been great all year for us. And we've got two good running backs. Really got four good running backs. Really, they can come in and do a good job. And then, when our quarterback needs to run, he's capable too. So, like I said, but it all starts up front. We challenge those guys all week long. If you play this deep, you're going to have to be able to win in the trenches. And those guys were able to do that tonight.
Does your heart skeet a bit when number 5 does a little hurdle action?
Yeah. I mean, the kid just wants to make plays. I mean, he's a competitor and sees an opportunity right there. You can't tell him not to because that's the kind of kid he is. He's going to try to make plays. So you got to love the competitive spirit in him.
And talking about your defense, you had 2 big interceptions in this game. One to kind of seal it for you.
Turnovers they've been big for our defense all year long. That's why I say these guys offensively are really good. The last several teams we've played, when you get in the playoffs, you're playing good teams, and these offenses are good. And for our defense to come up and get some important stops when we need to because of turnovers and those kind of things, I mean, that's huge in these games.
Thanks, Coach. Thank you, Coach.
All right, James, what was kind of your vibe? What'd you kind of feel after talking to Coach there?
He wants to go get the next one. He doesn't. I mean, like you could tell he was just very calm and laid back, and he expects a lot out of his team, and he talked about how good his running game was. He talked about how good a team New Home is, and he talked about how their defense played, and we're just gonna get another one. We got don't be satisfied. Talked about Adam Hill jumping over guys and how that's a kind of a scary thing, but you can't tell him not to. He just wants to make plays.
Absolutely. So James. For those Cover 1 people out there, y'all may have heard a familiar voice ask a little bit of questions on there. Shout out Manny House.
Manny Diaz. It was good seeing him, man.
Doing his own thing out there, making some TV highlights, I guess.
It was good seeing him. We walked around and we looked for Adam Hill. We got an interview with Adam Hill, the running back, and we were just like old times.
There you go. All right, guys, I want to let you know that this show is brought to you by Davis Woodfin. Go see him at Edward Jones. He's making sense of investing. Right now, 4.7% APR on brokered CD rates as of November 25th. $1,000 minimum investments for 12 months. Call him today, 325-249-0082. That's Davis Woodfin at Edward Jones. He's making sense of investing. He's a member of the SIPC. Go see him today or give him a call, 325-249-0082. All right, James. So now what I want to do is I want to kind of get into all the games that are going on. We want to talk about every game tonight and then move on and see what we're going to be looking at next week. So we are going to start with a game, of course, that you were at last night. And, of course, we saw the highlights already. And that was Albany New Home. Final score of that one, 53-25. Any notable things from this game that you think is going to play a factor in the state championships?
Man, one of their kids is getting his ankle taped up on the side. I don't know if it was number 1 or if it was number 3. But I remember seeing on one of their rosters, I didn't hear London Fuentes' name very often. I don't know if he was getting looked at or they just thought maybe we shouldn't push it and just let him come back next week because there's no way you're going to hold him out next week. So I don't know if he was beat up or if he maybe tweaked his ankle. But other than that, yeah, this Albany team is the real deal, man. They are really scary good, and Mart is going to be a fantastic fantastic team for them to play.
Speaking of Mart, that is going to be our next game we're going to talk about. That is Mart. They played Burton and they won 41-14. So now it's a Mart Albany rematch from last year. So what are we thinking about this? We're going to be seeing it, and I'll go ahead and pull up that anyways. It is Mart versus Albany in the state championship. This game's already been decided. James, who are you picking in it? Kind of early, but who are you picking?
I don't want to pick against Albany, but Mart is just outstanding. Their quarterback has like 36 touchdowns or 3 interceptions and 1,000 yards on the ground. They're just a really, really good team. It's going to take a lot for Albany to play. It's just going to be a really good one. I'm really excited to go and film that one. That'll be a good one.
Of course, we'll be there, but go ahead, say it. Who you got? Who's your pick and what's your score?
Mart, 24-21 Mart.
24-21 Mart. I am going to go ahead and change that one on you, James. I think Albany's got this one. I'm going to rock with Albany. Yeah, they're not undefeated, but they are a really, really good football team. What I saw in that highlight was people running over people not being able to just simply tackle these guys, no matter if it's your number 1 guy or your number 3 guy. I mean, they're a really dangerous football team, so be on the lookout for that one.
Hey, Mart's a real dangerous football team, too.
Yeah, that is a very, very true statement. Another game that happened last night, James. It was a battle between you follow these guys all year, the Holly Bearcats. They took on Crawford and they won 34-20 on the game last night. Any surprises about this one?
No, Holly is playing like they're possessed. They want to go get state. They remember Doug Brooks running up and down them. They don't have Doug Brooks running at them this year. They have who is it? Dalton? Is his brother Dalton?
Yeah.
Either way, they're not in it anymore. They lost. So Holly was expected to go back to state. They were expected to win, this region, and they played some really good teams in this. That Panhandle teams up there, Stratford and Panhandle and Farwell, and you start getting into Cisco, and all those teams are just really, really good. So this Holly team is battle tested. They were down 33-30, I think, in the first game against Cisco, and then last week they blew them out the wire like 40-7. They are just coming ready to play, and they're gonna send everything into this game. There's a bunch of seniors on that team. They're ready for it.
And then on the other side of the bracket, that game also went on last night, and it was a Refugio versus Timpson game. And the final score of that one was 24-21. Refugio wins it. So that would give it Refugio Holly State Championship. That's what we got.
Absolutely, that's what we got.
So you're going to be there at that game too, I'm guessing. So
I will be there.
I think that's kind of the slate of when we're going to be at the state games. And what are we thinking about that one? Is there any way that Holly can bring this thing home?
I think there is. Refugio beat Shiner on there's 4 minutes to go, and it was 4th and 13 from their 12 or 4th and 12 from their own 13-yard line. And the kid just bombed it down the field to the receiver, who caught it and got away from the corner and ran in for a touchdown. And it was like 22-19 at that point, and they scored, so obviously Refugio won. And this is just going to be another good one. Refugio is one of those programs like Shiner, like Mart, who have always just been really good. So this is going to be a really good game.
Guys, before we move on to our next couple of games, that'll wrap up our 2As right there. And before we move on, I'll let you guys know about Double Dave's Pizza of the Month. It's the Naughty Dave. That's right. Crispy thin crust, buffalo ranch sauce, mozzarella, pepperoni, sausage, and jalapenos. Right now, you can get this medium pizza for only $12. That's $12 for a medium pie called the Naughty Dave. Go get it today. They're over there on Sunset and Knickerbocker, over there in the Southwest Plaza. Go see them today. Give them a call. However you order your pizza, just make sure you order it from Double Dave's Pizza. Moving on to the 3As, James. This is a team that we saw our very own Wall Hawks lose to. And I'm sorry, I'm trying to pull it up here. Bing bong, bing bong. It is the Canadian Wildcats versus Gunter. We hope maybe that Walls, for the person who put Walls out, wins the state championship. Is that kind of the vibe that we're thinking, or is this just going to be another team from West Texas that's going to lose?
I think it's going to be another team from West Texas that loses. Gunter's a really good program. They were there last year. You know, they were at the state game last year. So, yeah, they are really good. I would like to see Canadian win. I think it's, but again, these are the two best teams in the state. This should be a really good one. Gunter kind of had the same path that Wall had. You know, they didn't play the first game because they won their district and ended up playing the 4th seed, another district who couldn't field a team, so they got an automatic win, forfeit, moved on to the next round. So I was really looking forward to seeing maybe Wall take on Gunter, but
you know
Canadian,
what?
Hey, there's no shame.
You never know.
When you
Canadian
get to that
played
point,
really good, dude. They blew out Wall, and they blew out everybody they played so far. So, I mean, is there there's got to be a little bit of a chance that this team is legit. I mean, they run that spread option to perfection. Do you remember the final score of that Wall game? I mean, I know
45-10.
Yeah, I mean, it was a pretty lopsided game, man. I think that maybe we could be seeing that again. I don't know, but it's gonna be good.
Wall's defense is good. You know, they don't. That doesn't happen to Wall.
I know, and that's what I'm saying. They skunked them and they put it on them big time.
Yeah, maybe these Panhandle teams. Hey, like I said, these Panhandle teams are really, really good. You know, they up above I-20. They're built differently.
Yeah, there you go. All right, moving on to our next one. It is going to be Poth versus Harmony. Winner takes on the winner of Gunter and Canadian. So, James, what are you kind of thinking? Who are we going to be seeing in the state championship game of the 3A Division II?
I think Poth is going to win this one. They have all the kind of pre-district stuff, kind of pre-game, preseason stuff. They were saying that Poth is going to be really, really good, and they've played some good teams. They've beaten Fall City. Fall City is really good. They did lose to Shiner 22-21. Schulenburg. And they've, of course, made it now how far into the draft or how far into the playoffs, obviously. So they're really, really good. Harmony, I couldn't really find much on Harmony. Oh, hang on, never mind. I do have their stats up.
Just a heads up. This is about Poth and Harmony. Winner takes on the winner of Canadian and Gunter. I mean, this is all for this should have been the Wall Hog spot, but hey, you know what? It's all's well that ends well. James, what you got on Harmony?
Harmony, I don't know, man.
What's their record? You got a record for them?
Yeah, their record is 9-5 and 5-1 in district.
Yeah, and then Poth is undefeated, correct? Or one loss. They're a one-loss team.
I believe so.
So, I mean, either way, we're thinking that we're thinking that Harmony's the underdog for sure in this one.
Yes, Harmony's definitely the underdog. I think, man, everybody talks about how good Poth is, this season. I've heard that come up several times among high school, football,
high school football people. Yeah.
Yeah, you hear them come up several times, and I think Poth's gonna win this one.
So I got Poth Canadian. Who you got?
Got Poth Gunter.
Poth Gunter. Okay, so
who's winning that one?
Oh God! And then at that one, it's Canadian if they make it there.
Poth.
And then Poth if Gunter makes it. All right. There we go. Okay, moving on to our next one. We'll be staying in the 3A, but we're going to be moving into Division I play now. And last night, actually, this game took place. It was the Brock Eagles who won against Malakoff Tigers 21-10. So Brock is going back to the state championship. James, are you surprised?
No, but yes, a little bit. They started off their season 0-4, and I never talked to Billy Mathis this year. He's the head coach up there. But when they beat Jim Ned last year in the third round, it was like a 70-35 game or something like that. Then they went on and Bushland this year. They were down 27 to
Dude, they were down 27-7
at one point, and then they won 51-27 or something like that.
Right.
Just
on Thanksgiving weekend.
Yeah, just nuts. So I'm never gonna discount these Brock guys. And they lost last year to Lorena there in the state. And I didn't really think Lorena had anybody outstanding looking on their team.
I remember.
They had that big tight end there.
So many sad faces.
I know Brock had that big tight end who was a Minnesota commit.
Right.
And you heard about that kid all year long. You saw this Brock team, how big they were and everything.
Happened.
And they got to state, and this little 5-0 running back just running up and down those big guys. Just
tore him up.
So Brock probably remembers that. Those guys remember that. Tutter, their running back. Tutter, he's a pretty good running back. So
they won't have to face the same guys again as they did last year because the little mix-up in some districts and things. And this year they're going to have to play Franklin because Franklin beat Edna 41-13. 41-13, that was a score. So we're going to be seeing a Brock-Franklin game in the state championship. What do you think?
Brock. I'm going to take Brock in this one. I'm never going to count against Brock, man. They're just... but Franklin, they don't have stats on Franklin. I don't know why coaches don't update their stats, but they beat Lorena this year. They beat CHEO.
What's their record?
They're 15. I mean, they're perfect. They're 15-0. Yeah, they're undefeated.
So that would probably make Brock the underdogs in this.
Probably, but if you look at Brock's schedule, Pleasant Grove is really good. Hershey, I probably pronounced that wrong. Hershey.
Yeah.
Wimberley, Gunter, those 4 teams they play at the beginning of their season are all really good teams.
Oh, Wimberley's a really good team this year.
So yeah, those are 4 good teams, and you don't know what guys are coming. You don't know if they're coming off injuries or anything like that. That was, in the beginning of the season when Jim Ned was 0-3, I'm like, that's a weird start for him. And I called him, like, man, we just been injured, so that could have been something that Brock dealt with this year was just injuries, and now everybody's back. I mean, they ran their district. They beat Whitesboro twice, once in their district, once in the postseason. They're a really good football team. Beat Muleshoe, Bushland, Whitesboro, and then now they've beaten Malakoff at the Ford Center there in Frisco. So.
Yeah, it was. Who you picking? Give me a score.
I'm gonna go Brock 35, Franklin 14.
I think it's gonna be another upset for Brock. They've been able to get there many times. They usually bring it home. This year, an undefeated Franklin team. That's kind of scary. I'm gonna go ahead and rock with Franklin. Probably 24-21 final score there. All right, moving on to our next game. We're going to go to a team that we've seen here play in San Angelo. We watched them last week in Sweetwater. That's the Glen Rose Tigers. They're playing Carthage. And, James, are we thinking that the Glen Rose Tigers can keep this going? They're a very high explosive offense, but they're going to be facing the buzzsaw that is the Carthage Bulldogs. Do you think they can make this pull this one out?
Man, if you look at their, they played. We heard about how good Fort Stockton was this year, and they blew them out. And we heard about they beat Hershey, Monaghan. Yeah, they've blown everybody out. Glen Rose deserves to be there, but Carthage, man, I don't know a lot about Carthage. I'm a small school guy. Let me look at this one.
There you go.
14-0. 14-0. 14 wins over. They're perfect. 6-0 in district.
Yep. And, heck of a team.
Yeah, they're good. They beat Pleasant Grove. They're the team that beat Brock in week 1. So.
Yep. So very very good football team.
And again, this should be a good one. These are the best teams in the state. So.
Yeah, and like we said, we brought this team up earlier. The next team we're going to go to, that's Wimberley, and they're going to be playing this team. Check this out, the Gobblers. That's right. This team is named after a turkey. James, are we thinking that it's going to be Wimberley versus Glen Rose?
That'd be pretty neat, wouldn't it?
I think so. I think that's going to be kind of the thing.
You said there's a lot of ASU grads who attended Glen Rose, right?
And I know students. ASU grads that went to Wimberley. So
one of our stringers went to Glen Rose, right?
Yeah, that's right. Jake Rollin went to Glen Rose. But this is going to be a very interesting matchup here with these two. It's going to be a toss-up. I just have a feeling that maybe it's going to be Wimberley versus Glen Rose, but who knows? It could be Carthage at the end of this because they are the undefeated team. All right, moving on, but before we do, I want to let you guys know about Angelo Bolton Industrial Supply. It's San Angelo's #1 choice for industrial supplies. It's around that Christmas time. I bet you're wondering, what do I get Dad for Christmas? What do I get Grandpa for Christmas? What do I get Uncle for Christmas? Well, go down there to Angelo Bolton Industrial Supply where you can get gift certificates for the holidays for anything you need when it comes to your bolts, nuts, hand tools, power tools, and shop supplies. You can find them at Angelo Bolt. Go see him today, 808 Warehouse Drive. That's Angelo Bolt and Industrial Supply. Moving on to a little bigger schools here. We're going to keep it rolling. This is where we're going to go kind of fast, and because these are the 4A, 5A, 6A games.
And none of these teams played last night. I think they're all playing tonight.
Yep, all of them play tonight. So we're going to go ahead and speed through these. First, we're going to start with Chapel Hill and the Bernie Grey Dogs. Greyhounds, sorry. James, what are you thinking? Do you have anybody that stands out in this one right off the top of your head?
Bernie, I think Bernie's a pretty good team this year.
Yeah, they are. I mean, I'm pretty sure that they haven't lost many games. This is probably going to be an uphill battle for Chapel Hill. We will see how this one works. They are going to be playing a South Oak Cliff team versus Argyle. Now, in the 4A Division 2 here, this right here is going to be the matchup that probably wins state championships. We've seen Oak Cliff 100 times.
I went to one of their games last year. They're different.
Really fast, really fast. But then there's Argyle, and they are always the one who's going to be winning the 4A. So that's going to be a matchup right there between those two. And whoever wins, that's what I'm going to guess, is this Argyle versus South Oak Cliff game is going to be the winner out of the whole entire thing for the 4A Division 2.
This could kind of be the de facto state championship right here, you know.
Yeah.
Whoever wins this one is probably going to go on and win it all. So.
Yeah, I'd say that's probably just about correct. And then on the other side of the 4A, we got the 4A Division 1, and sorry, I'm trying to pull this up here. This is going to be between Port Neches and Liberty Hill. Liberty Hill, that score right there is going crazy right now. Big, fast, offensive school.
They were there last
year. I mean, it's going to be a good game. I don't really know. I don't have anybody who I think is going to win this game because I just couldn't put my finger on it. This is going to be such a close game, I think, between these two. And they will play. James, you got anything on these two?
Liberty Hill's 13-1 this season, 6-0. They've scored 740 points, given up 332. But like we said, they were at the state game last year, you know, and they could just be one of those teams that just reloads every year.
Absolutely. And then on the other side, and this is who the matchup is going to be, it's going to be Longview versus Aledo. Now, Aledo is a powerhouse, has been for a while now, was in the state championship in the last couple of years. They're looking to go do it again. Do you think that Aledo has enough firepower, James, to be able to overcome this Longview team, who is definitely not a walkover, and get back to the state championship game?
They put up over 3,700 yards on the ground and 61 touchdowns on the ground. That's pretty crazy there. Patrick Daniels, he's got that's his last name. He's got 19 touchdowns. Keys has 10 touchdowns. Hengy has 13 touchdowns. Man, they're one of those ground and pound teams there. And Aledo, who are they playing? I'm sorry, Matt.
It's Aledo versus Longview, and this is going to be in the big school 5As. Yeah,
Longview. I'm trying, Matt.
You're good. It's Aledo and Longview.
It's taking a while for my computer to pull it up.
You're good. Both of these teams definitely.
Now they both run the ball. They got 62 touchdowns, so that game might be an hour and a half long.
I told you it's going to be good, but both of them score pretty quick and in a hurry. Now, if they win, James, or whoever wins this, will play the winner of the College Station Panthers and the Corpus Christi Veterans Memorial Eagles. Now, both of these two teams are also very good teams, but I'm expecting that College Station wins this one. You never know, though. Corpus has a good team this football season, but that's not who you're typically thinking about when you're thinking about going to the state championships. So I would have them selected as that underdog spot. Not saying that they don't have a good football team, just that it's hard to get all the way there, and I think College Station this year just has what it takes to kind of get there.
Yeah, and being there, that's College Station's a college town, right? That they all look up to the A&M players there, so they're going to play really good football. Their quarterback has 1,900 yards a season, 14 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. That's not outstanding, but their running backs, Martinez Brown, he's a sophomore. He's got 1,900 yards and 20 touchdowns on the ground. Mm-hmm. They're playing good football over there at Aggieland, I guess.
I guess so. Well, somebody, I guess, in town has to.
Somebody, right? Somebody has to.
All right.
Where's Joe Hyde at right now?
Yeah, right. Exactly. All right. Before we move on to our 6A games, I want to tell you guys once again about All-American Chevrolet. Right now, they're having their red tag deals. Find your tag, find your deal, and you can get $500 red tag bonus cash on select popular 2022 and 2023 Chevy models. That's $1,500 in total cash allowance. All on the 2022 Equinox models. That's $500 on your red tag bonus and $1,000 on your cash allowance. Go see what they got. You can look at the inventory on allamericanchevrolet.com or just go see them. They're over there at 203 North Bryant. Give them a call, 325-203-5425. That's All American Chevrolet, the fun place to buy a car. All right, James, moving on to our last games here, and it is going. I get this little thing really quickly. All right, here we go. Going into our last games of the night, we have the 6A titles are on the line. We have 4 games to see who's going to be in that championship game. The very first one, it is going to be between DeSoto and Denton Geyer. This one is going to be one for the history books. Denton Geyer, they've won it state number of times, but DeSoto has too, and these two powerhouses are looking to find out who is going to be able to win it. James, when you're thinking about Denton Geyer versus DeSoto, you think of all these historic matchups, but when you got to bring it down into one single thought, what are you thinking about this particular matchup between the two?
Man, looking at the DeSoto, man, they are young. Their quarterback's a junior. He's got 3,400 yards, 41 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Their running back, he's a sophomore, riding junior. He's got 133 attempts for 925 yards and 13 touchdowns. They are just, their receiver, big-time receiver, he's got 1,300 yards. He's a senior, got 21 touchdowns. Man, they are just a really good football team.
Yeah, definitely. And, I mean, this is why I think that they're going to go back to the state championship. But they're going to have to play the winner between Austin Vandergriff and Katy. And the Katy Tigers right now are the real freaking deal. I'm not playing, but Austin Vandergriff is Austin Vandergriff, so you also can't count them out, James.
They're there.
What are we thinking in here? Who's going to be that matchup in the 6A Division II football championship game?
I think Katie's going for sure. I mean, my dad was from Katy. He always talked about how good Katy was, and just to see them still playing well.
Well, yeah, and this year they're a really good undefeated football team, and they're looking to keep it going and try to get the state championship. So you're rocking Katy, but are we rocking DeSoto or Denton Geyer?
Man, Denton Geyer's gotten there though. That's the thing. Like they've been there. Were they there last year, right?
Yeah.
So I'll say Katy DeSoto. I'll say Katy DeSoto in that one.
Okay. I think maybe Denton Geyer, and also don't count out Austin Vandergriff. You never know what'll happen with those guys. Either way, it should be a really good one. And then now we're going to get to the game of games, the game of Texas high school football. Whoever wins this out of these 4 teams is the best team in the state of Texas. We're going to start with these guys, though, first. By God, they did it again. The Duncanville Panthers versus Prosper Eagles. Duncanville is here every single year, James. Is there any chance that we do not see a Duncanville Galena Park North Shore state championship game?
No, they don't get off the bus, maybe. Hey, man, Duncanville, they're really good. I mean, I don't know what you want me to say about them. They let their stats speak. They don't have stats in the max preps, I guess. But
either way, you know,
they are. But we heard a lot about North Shore too, though. I've heard a lot about that team as well. And
is there a way that Prosper can pull it off though against Duncanville, or you think they're just walking this one?
Oh, my bad. I don't know. Duncanville's been there before, and
yeah, they've been there the last 3 years.
We'll just go Duncanville in that one.
That's an easy pick right there because like the last 3 years it's just been the same matchup, and this is why. It's because Galena Park North Shore, there it is. They're going to take on Westlake. Oh man, I just don't feel very confident that it won't be like 5 years in a row, 10 years in a row, and this will still be the same matchup because it seems like these two programs are the programs that are making things happen in the 6A ranks. James, this game's on Saturday, or this game's on Friday. Are we thinking that both of these teams are going to win? It's just going to be Galena Park versus Duncanville again?
Probably.
But that's all right. If you say that though, things get a little complicated when we get to state. They've kind of alternated on who wins, who's winning this year.
I'm gonna go Duncanville.
All right, I'll go Galena Park, North Shore. Let's go, my boys from the H-Town.
I'm going Duncanville. Hey man, Westlake's a good team. One of those teams we hear about. You hear about South Lake Carroll. You hear about Austin Westlake. I think didn't Westlake have Drew Brees at one point? Didn't he go there?
Sure. I mean, there's been all kinds of guys from all that area. So.
Yeah, I mean, just those areas in general in Texas. Just those big schools that have those storied programs have sent players all over the place. And,
yeah, I mean, I'm sure that Duncanville team probably has one or two guys. I remember last year, actually 2 years ago, the Galena Park North Shore had a running back that was committed to Alabama. He refused to give up his phone while he was on the team trip. Everyone in the team was supposed to give their phone to coach. He refused to give up his phone, so coach said, "You're not playing in the state championship," and left him in the hotel. And that's why, though. That's why they're so dang good.
Imagine being able to say that to an Alabama recruit who Nick Saban came out and said, "You're going to play for me."
And they won.
And you say,
and
"No,
they
you're
won."
Sitting. I mean, what does that do to that kid? What does Nick Saban think at that point after he's offered that kid? He's like, why don't I go offer it to his backup who just won the game?
Exactly, and that stuff does happen. So these are kind of been our picks about the Texas high school playoffs. We're about done with the season. There's no more Contra Valley teams left, but there's still plenty of West Texas teams to root for, including the Canadian, Brock. Those are kind of in our area. So Westbrook, they're still in there. We didn't talk about the 6-man game, but we'll make sure to.
Bless you. Bless you. I'm going to be there for the 2A games. I'll be there for 2A and 3A games. Bless you.
Thank you, James. Taking that over. I'm dying over here.
But, yeah. Albany Mart, I'm going to be there. Holly and, see, I already forgot. Holly and Refugio, I'm going to be there. Brock and Franklin, I'll be there.
And then we got a lot of games tonight to figure out. But what game are we going to have tonight on our Cover 1 show?
We're going to have Canadian and Gunter. They're playing at ACU in Abilene. They're playing at 6 o'clock, so we're going to have some highlights for y'all from that one.
That's right, 8 and 10 o'clock, so make sure you guys come back. This has been the Cover 1 pregame show. Remember, the show is brought to you by All-American Chevrolet, the Autoplex, Edward Jones, Team and Investment, Angelo Bold Industrial Supply, as well as Double Dave's Pizza. Go get a pizza tonight. It's the best night to have pizzas, Friday night. So, anyways, this has been our Cover 1 pregame show. Like I said, come back at 8 and 10 o'clock for more. Until then, see you next time.